up, guys? Straight from Eagle Street to be Pacific. I was listening to that Lil Wayne. Um, yo, okay. Listen, Paul Pierce said LeBron James isn't in his top 5 of all time. Now, granted, when you do a top 5 all-time list, it's objective, but a lot of it has to do with just some facts. Try to leave your bias out of it. I don't think Paul Pierce is being 100% factual when he talks about top 5. Because it wasn't too long ago that this same guy said LeBron James was in his top 5. Now, all of a sudden, LeBron James is not in your top 5. I noticed that. A lot of guys seem to be changing their top 5. Mainly after this Last Dance video came out. All right. Okay. Now, his top 5, he tucked LeBron out. Because back in the day, he said LeBron was in his top 5. So now LeBron James is out of his top 5. And LeBron James is replaced with none other than Kobe Bean Bryant. Now, replacing LeBron with Kobe Bryant is sort of like a diss, so to speak, because these two guys was once rivals, like in the late, early 2000s. And they had that little puppet thing, who was the best player in the league, all that type of stuff, right? So there's a little jabs to throw at that when you pit Kobe Bryant as a top 5. But pitting Kobe Bryant as a top 5 over LeBron James isn't factual. That would be just a eye test thing and a favoritism thing. Because LeBron James surpassed Kobe Bryant as an individual player, no matter how you look at it, all across the board. I mean, I presented all of this in facts in some of my videos in the past, right? If you take team success into the equation, LeBron James isn't over Kobe in team success, but as an individual player and a team leader, a franchise player, LeBron James has been that longer than Kobe Bryant. And he is, if you look at it, he does have more team success than Kobe because he was the number 1 option all the time. Kobe's 5 championships has a question mark next to it because he won those as a second guy. He didn't win all those championships as being the number 1 guy. If that was the case, then how come Scottie Pippen isn't a top 5 player? You know, so if you're gonna discredit Scottie Pippen because he was a sidekick, you have to discredit Kobe for 3 of those championships because he was a sidekick. That's just how it goes. That's how the game goes. Fair, equal treatment. Now, back to Paul Pierce. His second claim to why LeBron James isn't a top 5 player is because LeBron James had to form a big 3. This is coming from the same guy. This guy's an idiot. This is coming from the same guy that linked up with Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and up-and-coming point guard in Rajon Rondo. You had somewhat of a big 4, basically. All right? So you're not being 100% truthful on your statement because you had a big 3 to win your championship, too. You didn't win a championship with just one other all-star, so stop lying. You linked up with Kevin Garnett, who was a top 50 greatest all-time player, one of the top 5 best small forwards of all time. You linked up with that. And there's no buts, ifs about it, you know. So you're capping on that. And I think there's some bias in Paul Pierce's decision. Paul Pierce has always been somewhat of a LeBron James critic because he played against him. So he's pulling Isaiah Thomas. He's basically being the Isaiah Thomas to LeBron James. You know, what Isaiah Thomas is to Michael Jordan, Paul Pierce is to LeBron James. You know, he's salty that LeBron James and that Miami Heat team beat him. Okay? And your second claim, which is idiotic and dumb, you say LeBron James didn't put a franchise on the map. Are you crazy? Are you on drugs? He put the Cleveland Cavaliers on the map. Single-handedly put that losing franchise on the map. You wouldn't even be talking about the Cavaliers if it wasn't for LeBron James. So that's a lie on Paul Pierce's part. All right. Then he comes back and drops another championship, gives the Cleveland Cavaliers another championship. So, and he does it in a historic fashion by beating a team that wins 73 games. Okay, that's one of the greatest finals of all time. 2016. It's one of my favorite finals to watch. Was the 2016 finals. I could watch that over and over again because it was that entertaining. You know, had you over the seat with entertainment. You know, so he's lying on that part. And now he says, oh, he going to the Lakers, so he can't build the Lakers up. No, but a lot of great players go to historic teams to continue the legacy to help them win a championship. The Lakers was not a playoff team for years until LeBron got there. As a matter of fact, they started winning championships. Oh, well, not winning championships. They started being put back on the map when LeBron James joined the Los Angeles Lakers. You know, now they're a playoff contending team, a championship contending team, because LeBron James put them back on the map. All right. So Paul Pierce, you're capping. LeBron James is a top 5 all-time great player. There's facts to prove that. There's a lot of arguments you can make to prove that he's a top 5 player because he passes all the criteria for a top 5 player. He may not be better than Jordan, but he's damn sure a top 5 player. You know, he's dominated the league for over a decade, and he's earned his stripes. So you can't take that away from him. The man has MVPs. He has finals MVPs. He has multiple trips to the finals. And he was able to cap off more chips than you, Paul Pierce. You get that one-ass championship that you get for 1 year. And all of a sudden you act like you're on top of the hill because you got one championship. I mean, you listen to these guys talk, these Boston Celtic players, you would think they won 10 championships. It's crazy. Paul Pierce, asinine comments. Sit down somewhere, Pops. You're bugging.